warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Sadia Yakubu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channels 365 and StarTimes channels 276. President Bola Tinubu has ordered an instant review of security operations in Katsina State. A statement by his senior special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, noted that the president also pledged to push the fight against banditry through the deployment of advanced military hardware and surveillance gadgets. Tinubu further stated that the country's security challenges were solvable, assuring Nigerians that his administration was considering the establishment of state police and the upgrade of forest guard to reinforce grassroots securities. The federal government has announced Friday, September 5th, 2025 as a public holiday to mark Eid al-Mawlud, the birth of the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This was confirmed in a statement signed by the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Interior, Dr. Magdalene Ajani in Abuja, noting that Minister of Interior Oluwumi Tunji Ojo extended warm greetings to Muslims in Nigeria and around the world. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has called for immediate and sustained effort to expand healthcare across Nigeria, particularly in rural and underserved areas. Speaking at the unveiling of the Care 365 Health Hub in Abuja, Obasanjo emphasized that healthcare is a universal necessity, remarking only the dead are not concerned about health. And Niete Patrick completes the reports.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo and his successor, Goodluck Jonathan, and former military head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, have expressed concern over the persistent lack of basic medical infrastructure, which forces many Nigerians to travel long distances to receive care. They lauded the Care 365 initiative, a tech-driven platform featuring smart health kiosks and telemedicine services, as a critical step towards bridging the healthcare gap and reaching low-income communities with quality medical services. They also criticized past administrations for neglecting healthcare development and called on current stakeholders to ensure that digital innovations like Care 365 are deployed effectively where they are most needed.
I urge you to fully integrate Care 365 into our primary health care and emergency system. To state governments, adopt and domesticate it. To donors and development partners, support it. To the private sector, invest in it, particularly the banks.
Let me use such opportunity to plead with Nigerians, young men and women who are good in technology to come up with different products like this to move our country forward. In those days, we talked about the Industrial Revolution, Agric Revolution, etc., etc. The digital revolution has kick-started various revolutions under the digital revolution. You talk about health, you talk about agric, you talk about law. Yes, everything is linked up with digital revolution.
There's no facility all over the country to access medical care. So this Care 365, working together with the Ministry of Health and the state governments, will provide an answer to this problem.
Also speaking at the event, Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, officially launched the Care 360 Health Hub, a complementary digital healthcare initiative. Professor Pate described Care 360 as a reflection of the federal government's commitment to building an accessible, affordable, and efficient healthcare system. He explained that the platform aligns with the national strategy to improve health governance enhance outcomes, unlock the healthcare value chain, and strengthen Nigerians' health security. He noted that the launch marks a significant milestone in Nigeria's digital health transformation and reaffirmed the administration's focus on building people-centered healthcare system that serves all Nigerians regardless of location or income level.
Opportunity for our healthcare system to leapfrog, and it fits squarely within the context of what this administration is trying to do. The transformation of Nigeria's health system is on the way. Under the leadership of His Excellency President Ahmed Tinubu, we had a 4-pillar strategy, one of which is governance, to ensure that we orient our health system to serve our people, to work with states, federal government, local governments, civil society, private sector, to orient our system to serve the needs of our population and to ensure that no one is left behind.
The reason for this vision is to make accessible healthcare, affordable healthcare, quality healthcare, and available healthcare available to the citizens of Nigeria. We are here to envision and to support the federal ministry, agencies, and businesses to be able to provide adequate care for every citizen.
With the unveiling of Care 365 and Care 360 health hubs, stakeholders say Nigeria is taking a bold step towards bridging healthcare gaps through digital innovation, with hopes that these initiatives will bring quality and affordable medical services closer to every Nigerian, especially those in rural communities. Annie T. Patrick, reporting for Global TV.
Edo State Governor Monday Okpebholo has distributed 300 motorbikes to enhance security in the state. This was contained in a statement released on Wednesday by his Chief Press Secretary, Fred Ijua. It was stated that while distributing the motorbikes to security agencies in the 3 senatorial districts of the state, the governor said criminals would have no hiding place in the state under his administration. The People's Democratic Party has appointed Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri of Adamawa State as chairman of the National Convention Organizing Committee ahead of its 2025 elective National Convention. The inauguration took place at the PDP National Secretariat in Abuja. Upon Usoro reports.
Governor Fintiri will lead a 110-member committee that includes high-profile figures such as Ademola Adeleke of Osun State as Deputy Chairman, Kabiru Turaki as Deputy Chairman second, and Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State as Secretary. Other prominent members of the committee are PDP Board of Trustees Chairman Senator Adolphus Wabara, National Chairman Ambassador Umar Damagu, former Vice President Namadi Sambo, and several serving governors, including Bala Muhammad of Bauchi State, Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, and Governor Geleb Mufwang of Plateau State.
That this party, like I've always reiterated, is above any personal interest or any individual. I want to make this clear. Ironically, many of these destructive voices have come from individuals who have benefited immensely from the party.
Kamagu charged the committee to work with unity of purpose, stressing that the outcome of the convention will determine the party's strength and readiness ahead of the 2027 general elections.
We are with you on this journey as governors, and we will show that we believe in the capacity of the regulator, INEC. We are confident that it is a very virile and good organization, driven by the rule of law. This convention is on course, our party is on course to make sure we have our party.
The PDP's Governors Forum Chairman, Bala Muhammad of Bauchi State, assured the committee of the full support of PDP governors, describing the convention as a turning point to reposition the party for victory in future elections.
I want to tell you, every stakeholder in this party is my friend, but I will not place this party or our relationship above this party. I will deliver on my assignment. I will ensure what is expected of me is what is done, and I accept
along with 119 members, this assignment on behalf of our party with all humility.
The convention has been scheduled for November the 15th and 16th in Ibadan, Oyo State. Party leaders say the event will serve as a platform to foster unity and strengthen the PDP ahead of the 2027 polls. Governor Fintere's appointment has been widely seen as a vote of confidence in his leadership, following a successful coordination of the PDP National Convention in 2021. Ubong Usoro for Global Television.
Young people in Zamfara State have been urged to rise above violence and divisive politics by embracing issue-based dialogue as part of tool for good governance and effective representation. This call was made at the one-day summit convened by the Coalition All Youth Students and Entrepreneurs for Good Governance in Gusau, Zamfara, the state's capital. Our correspondent has the details. The one-day summit brought together youth, students, entrepreneurs and other stakeholders from across the 14 local government areas of Zamfara State. The keynote speaker, Dr. Abdurrahuf Abdullahi, says the focus is to sensitize young people on the need to pursue civic engagement through peaceful and issue-based dialogue. He stressed that integrity and truthfulness should guide youth as they play active roles in governance.
Number one, as a good leader, you must be intelligent. A dull person does not lead a nation. A dull person does not lead people. Intelligence will warrant you the ability to be able to put 1, 2, 3 together and get yourself out of a complex situation without being...
Lead discussant and former youth leader Lukman Majidadi urged young people to go beyond being followers and aspire to leadership positions. He says the coalition will sustain mobilization of youth and students for peaceful civic participation and democratic development.
And then in my own discussion, I was able to also highlight to the youth why they should participate, why they should identify people who are already established philanthropists, people who are already on the field, whose track records or antecedents have given a clear indication that they will be able to serve as good leaders.
Youth leader of the coalition, Nuruddin Salis, will further appeal to stakeholders to avoid violence, hate speech and divisive politics while embracing issue-based dialogue for the progress of Zamfara State.
To continue mobilizing youth, students and entrepreneurs for peaceful civic engagement and democratic participation. 2. To strengthen issue-based dialogue and reject violence, hate speech and divisive politics.
With the growing call for peace and inclusive governance, participants at the summit says the onus is now on young people and stakeholders to translate the resolutions into action for the sustainable development of Zamfara State. Sadia Yakubu, Global Television. Clerk to the National Assembly, Kamaru Ogulana, has described verbatim reporters as the soul and conscience of the legislature's policy accuracy. He made this known while declaring open the annual National Delegates Conference of the Hansard and Verbatim Reporters Association in Abuja. Topsy Gimba has details.
Represented by the clerk to the House of Representatives, Dr. Yahya Azaria, Barrister Ogulana recalled that before the advent of modern technology, verbatim reporters played a critical role in documenting votes and proceedings, thereby ensuring policy accuracy in the chambers of all assemblies. He stressed that their relevance cannot be underestimated, especially in accuracy reporting across local languages, often beyond the reach of artificial intelligence.
Hansard is not only an archive of parliamentary business. It is a potent tool for accountability, transparency, and informed decision-making. It captures the essence of our political discourse and the diverse thoughts, opinions, and resolutions that forge the laws and policies of our nation. It is the official transcript of parliamentary debates and proceedings. It is often referred to as parliamentary diary. Now, how does Hansard contribute to policy formulation? Let us consider several key aspects that subsequent speakers and resource persons will expound on. Preserving collective wisdom, fostering transparency and accountability, informing evidence-based policy, creating historical record and encouraging stakeholder participation. Away from contributing to policy formulation, Hansard reporters first day.
The Executive Secretary of the National Assembly Library Trust Fund, Henry Wauber, represented by Amy Moses, highlighted the strong link between verbatim reporting and the Legislative Library. He noted that both institutions serve as custodians of knowledge, promoting transparency, informed governance, and public trust, while charging participants to maintain high standards of accuracy and integrity.
Your work ensures that every debate, motion, and resolution within the hallowed chambers of our legislature is captured with precision and preserved as a permanent record of our nation's parliamentary history. Without your diligence, the memory of our parliament will be incomplete, accountability will suffer, and policy making will stumble upon the gaps left by inadequate.
President of the Hansard and verbatim reporters of Nigeria, Comrade Gobina Drisu, urged members to continue as pillars of accountability and transparency. He, however, appealed to the National Assembly management to provide training and equipment that will enable reporters to discharge their duties effectively.
Without Hansard, much of our legislative history would be lost, and the progression of our democracy will remain undocumented. The theme of this conference underscores a profound truth. Hansard is more than a record of proceedings. It is a tool for growth. For lawmakers, Hansard provides an accurate reference point. It enables them to track legislative intent, understand the history behind bills, and ensure consistency in lawmaking.
The two-day conference is expected to chart a new course for strengthening legislative reporting and enhancing democratic accountability. Topsy Gimba, reporting for Global Television News.
The National Industrial Court in Abuja has nullified a provision in the harmonized terms and conditions of service for officers of the National Armed Forces, which mandated soldiers to serve a minimum of 15 years before being allowed to resign. Delivering judgment in a suit filed by Flight Lieutenant J.A. Akirile, Justice Emmanuel Sibilem described the rule as oppressive and a gross violation of fundamental rights granted by the 1999 Constitution as amended. Akirile, who was commissioned as a pilot officer in 2013 during the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan, had challenged the Nigerian Air Force's refusal to accept his resignation. Lecturers in Ondo State-owned Adekunle Ajasin University, Akungbe Akoko, has begun an indefinite strike to protest non-payment of salary. The strike began after the lecturers under the aegis of Academic Staff Union of Universities rose from their Congress and wrote to the authorities of the institution to notify it of their action. The development has paralyzed academic and non-academic activities on campus, with students expressing concern over the strike. Troops of the Nigerian Army have killed scores of terrorists and arrested 15 others in a series of operations across the country. Troops also reportedly rescued 15 kidnapped victims during an onsite conducted from August 29 to 31st, with troops recovering a large scale of high-caliber weapons, ammunition, explosive, and illegal refined petroleum products. In recent times, concerns have continued to grow over the impact of social media on the academic performance of students in Nigeria. While the preferred platforms offers opportunities for research, learning, and skill development, experts warn that excessive use of social media poses serious risk to contradictions, mental health, and study habits. Our correspondent Zara Nasir takes a closer look at this development and hand the reports.
Social media, an internet-based innovation that enables the creation and sharing of content as well as participation in online communities, has become a powerful tool for communication and learning. However, it is also associated with challenges such as addiction, cyberbullying, misinformation, and declining study time for students. Although some students turn to social media to complete assignments and carry out research, many have fallen into the trap of excessive use, leading to distractions and poor academic outcomes. Respondents who spoke to Global Television highlighted both the positive and negative side of social media in the life of a student.
Students now are no longer focusing on their educations. Yes, it never makes you to concentrate. You see a student is inside the class, pressing phone on social media, TikTok, doing whatsoever.
The students no longer focus on their studies. What they usually do now is pressing their phones, going on social media, watching things that are not relevant to, what they are doing in school, which is really affecting them. You understand me? They are like supposed to focus on their studies to come out in flying colors, but no.
Level, while some are just using it to have fun, and then at the end of the day to make them deviate from the main reason why they are into education. So that's just the impact from my own side. If you use the social media positively, definitely it's a good one, but this generation, most of them are using it negatively, because at the end of the day you see a child sleeping. In the morning to even go to school is very hard, because you have been overstayed on social media from evening till night.
Students run businesses, so they can take time to actually chat. They actually getting gain from it, but some students might actually misuse it. So everything has abuses. Some people might abuse social media, and that's where it gets harmful.
Experts say to address the impact of social media on students, schools should also provide workshops on digital literacy, manage phone using during school hours, and encourage parents to set boundaries and engage in open communication with their children about social media use. Zahra Nasser, reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of Midday News. When Midday News returns, Israel's death, 15 more Palestinians to death, killed 78 since dawn. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories on the other side of this bit. Please stay with us. Welcome back from that short break. Dangote Petroleum Refinery last week made its first premium motor spirit petroleum shipment to the United States, while local marketers insisted on fuel importation. These confirmed the earlier report that the refinery is stocking more fuels, following the shutdown of some foreign refineries for maintenance. S&P Global indicates 300,000 barrels of petrol left Nigeria on August 26, with an expected arrival at New York and New Jersey on September 12. And on foreign scene, Russian foreign minister says Moscow is still seeking international recognition that part of Ukraine annexed and occupied by its forces belong to Moscow as part of new peace deal. Ukraine has said it will not accept Russian control over any of its territory and has vowed to recover land seized by Moscow. Russia claims to have annexed 5 Ukrainian regions, Donetsk, Zaporizhia, as well as Crimean Peninsula, which it seized in 2014. The United Nations says a growing restriction in Cameroon surrounding presidential elections scheduled for October, raising fears about whether voters can freely choose their candidates. This is coming as President Paul, the world's oldest head of state at 92, seeks a new 7-year term to extend his nearly 43 years in power in an election scheduled for October 12. Uyi Abomofwebe reports. High caffeine energy drinks such as Red Bull will be banned for sale to youths under 16 in England, or the plans announced by the government. Up to a third of 13 to 16-year-olds in England are believed to consume energy drinks, some of which contain more caffeine than 2 cups of coffee, despite most supermarkets have introduced a voluntary ban, according to the government. And in sports, Nigeria has formally submitted a bid to host the 2030 Commonwealth Games, positioning the capital city, Abuja, as a proposed venue. If successful, it will mark the first time an African country stages a multi-sport event. The decision will be taken at the Commonwealth Games General Assembly in Glasgow this November. Durban, South Africa was initially awarded the 2022 Games but lost the hosting right in 2017 due to financial challenges, leaving the continent yet to feature as a host. Bayern Munich and Canada left-back Davies has returned to training with the ball 5 months after tearing his ACL while on international duty. His club announced Monday Davies, 24, injured his knee while playing for Canada against the United States in their Nations League third-place playoff in March. Turkish Super Eagle League giants Fenerbahce and Galatasaray are going at each other off the pitch for the signature of the Nigerian forward Ademola Lookman. Lookman's future hangs in the balance following the closure of the transfer window in Europe's top leagues on Monday, with hopes that he could seal his exit from Italy to Turkey, where their transfer window closes September 12. As Galatasaray and Fenerbahce pose for a deal, Atlanta are standing firm on their valuation. That's it on Midday News. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channels 365 and StarTimes channels 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Sadia Yakubu saying thank you for watching.